Hey everybody, this is Dylan. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Ariel and Eric wedding set from the Disney Store Classic Doll sets. And I have done two of these reviews before. I have already looked at Tiana and Cinderella's set, and today I'm going to be looking at Ariel. So if you've missed the other two, make sure you check those out on my channel, of course. But today I'm going to be doing the review and unboxing of Ariel and Prince Eric. I'm so excited. This is probably the most popular of the set, just given that Ariel is a very popular Disney princess, but just also these outfits in general are just very, very sought after. So I'm super excited to look at these. So the Disney Store has released some Ariel classic dolls, in the past, and I will be doing just a little teeny tiny comparison of that because I do have the Ariel classic doll that was sold on her own from Disney. But this is a whole other thing in its own right. It's definitely a very different set. So make sure you stay tuned as we look at all of those details. And of course, if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing to my channel and liking my video if you enjoy this type of thing. Alright, so first let's just get into the packaging because there is so much beautiful artwork here just in the packaging. It almost makes you want to keep these things in the boxes, which, some people do, but in this case we're going to be deboxing. So it says Ariel and Eric wedding doll set, and then in a different language there, and the quality is just a little questionable, just given that this was shipped with all four of them kind of scrunched together in a big box. So the quality is just a little iffy on the packaging, which is okay, because I intended to debox these all along. But if you are someone who really wants perfect ones, you may want to just keep an eye on that. Okay, it says Disney Princess, and everything is kind of a purplish turquoise color, just representing Ariel. Of course, Tiana's set was mainly green, and Cinderella's set was mainly blue. So there is a cardboard cutout here of Sebastian at the wedding on top of the cake, and this is straight from the animation. I really, really love this. Too bad there wasn't a moment like this in the live-action Little Mermaid, because I just think it's very perfect. So Ariel is featured with her red hair. She has a lovely tiara. She has a veil, and she has a beautiful dress that has some turquoise, aquamarine trim and embellishments, and also a middle panel that goes down the front of her dress. And it also has this cool little pattern around her waist that is representative of the film. And she has a different bouquet in her hands than Cinderella and Tiana, which we will be doing a comparison of them as well once we get everything out of the box. But this looks like lilies. And Prince Eric is looking lovingly at her, and he has his very princely official outfit on with like this coat of arms on his shoulders, like a banner across his chest, blue pants, and boots. So we'll just compare him as well with the princess. This side has a lovely image of Ariel here, and as you go down there's another image of Ariel and Prince Eric on the boat. That's straight from the animation, and Ariel's signature if you meet her in the parks. We turn this around, and there is Ariel with a dingle hopper and flounder. She's probably wishing for the world above. And above that, there is just a little scene of Kiss the Girl with her and Prince Eric in the boat. And, ooh, that's the castle of Atlantica. We turn it around and it says Ariel and Eric wedding doll set at the top. And then this is really pretty. This is probably the most beautiful piece of artwork that's on the box. And this is, again, straight from the animation of Ariel and Eric there waving goodbye on their wedding ship. And this is Mermaid Ariel and a seashell. It's very pretty. And down here is just all the generic Disney Store information. But this retails for $39 approximately. And I'm not sure if this will be available in anywhere else. Right now they are only on the Shop Disney website, and I haven't seen them been posted anywhere in person. So I've done two reviews of these so far. So let's try to debox these with as much grace as I can, just because they are a little clunky and there is a lot holding the dolls in just because they're in like poses. So it's definitely difficult to get all the little ties and all the sticky things that's holding everything together. That is definitely a struggle. Ooh, okay, here they are without that glare. And it just makes you see like all the dust and grime that was on that. Like, ew. And glitter, probably from Ariel's dress. So, as we have been doing, we are going to take the prince out of the box first, and then we'll take a look at the princess in the set. And I'm just doing that because the princess probably has more of the interesting stuff that we want to see, so we save the most exciting piece for last. Not that the prince characters aren't important, of course, because I love whenever characters that rarely get merchandise, get merchandise. All right, so this lifts up out of here, and basically, oh, Sebastian, I'm gonna have to keep that. I'll definitely keep that. It's taped on there. I'll definitely be keeping that. So Prince Eric has all kinds of little things that's holding him in the box. And like I said, because they're posed, there's just so many little bits of like tacks and things that's holding everything in there. So we will just have to see. So we're undoing his boot ties. These can definitely be annoying. And this is definitely not the plastic-free packaging that Disney was using for their other dolls. This is definitely has plastic in it and definitely, contributes to that. So the plastic-free packaging, I think works best for like the classic dolls. Just a single classic doll. That isn't gonna need any posing or anything. These are very elaborately posed, just given like their box designs and given that they are just presented in a very nice box, so it's actually more like a deluxe set is what I would consider it. Yuck. So there's tape, just all kinds of things holding. This is probably the least stressful of the ones that I've seen so far. So I got those tacks up there, and he's starting to come free a bit. So let's just see if we're going to be able to free him from his packaging. So all's looking good. Most of the prince and princess couples here have their hands rubber banded together, and that's just to keep them holding hands in the display. So of course, I don't want to rip anybody's hands off because I just don't trust it, not that that would happen, but I mean, I guess it could happen, but just, yeah, that scares me. Woo! So he's gone. That was very easy. If you've seen my other videos, I struggled so much with getting Prince Naveen and Prince Charming out of the box. So this was very impressive. So I'm very proud of myself. So, ooh, that's a very nice picture. I'm gonna have to take a picture like this, like of her looking over that way and then him looking this way. I must take a picture of that. So pretty. So of course, all of these dolls are held in around their waist. And Prince Eric, of course, is not any different. So, but his coat seems to open all the way down the back, and just seeing the little writing there, it says Disney Store on there, and it's Velcro. But of course, to insert the wire around their waist, they just kind of have to open their shirt a little bit in the box. So that's not abnormal, and I'd say Ariel has something similar to that, as Tiana and Cinderella have as well. And of course, she has a big gown on, so that's going to be a little bit more difficult to accomplish, to get that out. So, but he's got like tails on the back of his coat, very nice. His shirt feels better than Prince Charming's shirt. I talked about how Prince Charming's shirt felt really thin, and just right away I could tell that it didn't quite add up to Cinderella's quality. But here I think that Eric looks very, very nice. Of course, all the fabrics are finished. There's nothing cheap about these doll sets. It's just sometimes the materials that they used may not have been completely, perfect. But he has blue cuffs around his arms, so that's really pretty. And of course, everything is articulated, his shoulders and his elbows. Very nice, as the Disney Store dolls are. He has a white sash across his shirt, and there are buttons that are printed on with some details there, and a nice blue collar, and he's able to look around. This is the Prince Eric face since the designer Fairy Tale dolls. I love this Prince Eric face, and of course I love that set of Ariel and Eric from the Disney Fairy Tale designer collection. I have a video of that on my channel if you missed it, if you'd like to see the details of that set. So he has these shoulder pieces, and I was thinking that each prince would have their own shoulder pieces to like represent their own kingdoms, but no, they all have the same ones, and I will compare that momentarily. So very blue, very, very nautical. So he has blue pants. If I had to guess, it's probably the same blue slacks that all of the Disney princes have, but Prince Eric has his own boots here. And I think that is because Prince Eric, of course, has different boots because he is more of a nautical sailor, a seaman. He is always on boats, and he's near water, and I think that's probably why he has these boots that kind of look more like pirate boots. Of course they're removable, they're very pretty, and the men have rubber legs so they can bend at the knees and they can sit down. Woo! Didn't want to knock over Ariel there. So let's compare Eric to his princely friends. So here is Eric next to Prince Naveen and Prince Charming. We will do a final comparison whenever I debox Flynn and Rapunzel next. So of course we'll have to wait for that, but they all do represent their own kingdoms, and I do think they all represent different characters. And there is some similarities just between different outfits and things, being representative of a prince. They probably all have the same slacks on, I would say, but it is very different that they all have different boots. And I think that's perfect, because they all represent their different kingdoms and represent their different styles. Prince Charming wouldn't stand on his own. He was giving me some difficulty. But Prince Charming seems to be the one that skimped on the most, and Eric seems to be the nicest doll here. I'm not sure if that's because The Little Mermaid is a very popular Disney princess movie, but Prince Eric just has a lot of fans. Like, he's just a really well-loved character. So now let's get the beautiful bride out of her box, and that is Princess Ariel. Let's see how Ariel is held in the back of this box here. So Ariel has long hair, so I would say that this red threading was holding her hair in a nice, neat position. Of course, Cinderella and Tiana have shorter hair, so maybe that's probably why we didn't see it with them. And then I believe there is this, and then she has some different tacks holding her her veil in. I feel like this is going to be a lot more of a challenge than with Prince Eric. So let's just see what we can do. I think I've got a plan of action here that's going to be easier than with Tiana's veil and with Cinderella's veil. So Ariel's feet are held in here, and she also has some tissue paper underneath her dress, which I expected just because that sometimes helps give dolls a little bit of oomph, on their dresses. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that out there, and it's sad to say that you'll see her dress deflate some. I don't agree with it either. I wish there was some type of fluff underneath there, but yeah, it's just for the box presentation. I mean, it doesn't look completely not full, but you can definitely tell that the filler underneath has been moved. All right, so there's a few just little tacks, probably keeping Ariel's dress in place. Definitely this hand is held in place, but also her veil. And these things are so fragile. I never like to just start ripping away at fabric just because I don't want there to be like lasting little holes in things. So it's just not fun. So And let's remove this plastic piece, of course, without taking any of Ariel's beautiful red hair with us. Oh my, okay, I might have messed it up a little bit. Let's go from here. All right, so, and I think with a little bit of patience, we should be able to slowly remove Ariel. And I want to keep her hair as nice and as neat as possible. Oh, duh. This wasn't all the way undone. Duh. Oops, sorry guys. Might be struggling a little bit today. And there's just a little bit of her hair left that's held in by this thread. Of course, we want that to... There. Woo! All right. Ariel is free. She looks a little strange, held up in this plastic piece, but no worries, we will remove that. I think that's what's keeping her hair so neat. Oh, but there's also some of her hair kind of tucked up behind it. It's interesting. So, we need to remove this with these two tacks here. Ariel is so pretty. Oh my goodness. And this should remove... She has a rubber band there holding that in. All right. So beautiful. Oh my goodness. And this doll is very different from the Ariel classic doll version, so of course we will be talking about that. So there's just some slack kind of here given probably for that extra little piece of wire, you know, just that's holding her, well, technically wrapped around the actual doll and held into the back of the box, you know, to keep her very secure. So of course we just want to close that up as best as we can. You know, sometimes I get a little weird about making sure that it's completely even, but it totally doesn't matter, you know, as long as it closes just nicely. So, and then we flip her around. And where her hair has been facing that direction, I'd say that it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for people trying to shape it in a different way. You know, of course, unless if you want to take this apart and wash her hair, there seems to be a little bit of like a gel in there, probably just to, you know, keep this curly kind of shape. You know, it's not bad at all. It's not crunchy at all, but it's very soft, and it's definitely got a wee bit, you know, of just molding in there, you know, and who knows how long she's been in the box this way. So her veil and her hair go that way, and that's definitely going to stay that way for a little while. Ariel's veil is white. Probably just based directly from the animation, and it is the same netting like material that was found with Cinderella and with Tiana, although Cinderella and Tiana's were based on different colors from their films. So Ariel's tiara is very, very pretty. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this. This might have been on an older Ariel doll or something. Please let me know if you've seen this before. But it's got like molded gems and molded like fleur-de-lis and molded just scrolling, and that's really, really pretty. But it doesn't really represent her crown from the animated film, but it's very pretty nonetheless. And this is the new Ariel face sculpt they have used since 2019 or around that time. And, you know, this is what I like to call Ariel's fishy face, because it does look kind of fishy, which is very fitting because she is a mermaid, and they did use, I believe, versions of this face sculpt for the 17-inch dolls that year as Ariel's 30th anniversary. Ariel's dress is white, her sleeves are sheer. She is, of course, articulated in all the places that all Disney Store princess dolls are, and she has the pointed feet. Her sleeves are puffy and there's turquoise aquamarine trimming, you know, around different places and different just detailing. And I think that's really pretty. This is very important to me because typically this is not included around Ariel's wedding dresses. There's some hairs that are just like sticking out here. Generally not included with Ariel's wedding dresses, and I think that's very important because I think it's very true to the outfit. So the sleeves are sheer, as I said earlier, and she has a different bouquet than her other princess partners. So we're gonna try to get rid of this plastic thing the best we can. From what I can see, it's kind of holding the flowers in her hand, and I don't want to like mess that up because I feel like they have it looking really good the way it is, and I'd like for her to hold the flowers without any issue. So that's pretty, but yeah, it's a bouquet of lilies, and it's very, very pretty. It's like fabric, and it has little like lily flowers in it, and it has a green stem, and that is what is actually tied to her hand. So the skirt is really, really pretty. As far as I can tell, this is all one piece. So the skirt and the top aren't two pieces. And I know that happens sometimes with Ariel wedding dresses, just in the past, from my experience. Down the middle of her dress, she has a panel of aquamarine, and it's very pretty. This, of course, did not happen on her wedding dress in the film, but I've seen them include this many different times just to add like that little mermaid flair and maybe give a call back to the ocean, of course. It's very, very nice quality fabric, and the top portion of her dress is glittery, and that's probably what's shedding some of the glitter on everything. It's the only thing in the box that has glitter. So this is tacked in certain places just to make it sit right, you know, and I wouldn't want to remove those because it's making this dress sit the way it's supposed to sit, you know, presentation wise. Ooh, there's kind of a bump here that was kind of tied up in the box, you know, whenever she was tied in. It's these hairs on the side, they're driving me crazy, but I'll work on toning those down later. So she does have the rubber feet. Her panties look like they're white to match her wedding dress. Rubber legs, and she has white high heels. And these are the old Disney store type high heels. They've had them on their classic dolls. They've had them on just about everything. So I'm sure any doll fan, you know, has seen those before. So she is so pretty, and she differs very, very much from her classic doll counterpart. Rapunzel and Flynn will be our next video in this series, of course, and I'm so excited to look at them. But let's compare the two classic Ariels in the wedding dress because it's very different. I'm pretty sure the single Ariel came out later, and the wedding set Ariel came out before. So I think that the wedding Ariel classic doll was sold on her own. She was sold in the disposable packaging that was made just out of cardboard. There's definitely some similarities here, but a lot of differences. Just the differences of quality is immense. You know, they definitely are the same face sculpt, which of course they will be using this Ariel face sculpt for a while, I'm sure, you know, until they're ready to approve another one. But some of the turquoise piping is definitely the same type of material. You know, this is definitely the same used technique. The skirts are very different. Of course, the more deluxe version is more dramatic and has more details. And the plainer version, I mean, does have a very nice long dress, but it's different. It's very different. So the playline version, she has a arched crown, which looks like a copy of Aurora's crown. The same netting for the veil, but there's just different details here. You know, the sheer sleeves are missing. The high quality turquoise embellishments This Ariel seems to be a more budget version of that. But the funny thing is that she actually has some poofiness going on underneath her dress, and the other Ariel doesn't. This Ariel also has the flat feet from the Disney store. So this is when they were implementing that. She has like a turquoise underlayer going on there, and that's exactly how she came from Disney store. So just a few minor little details, but you know, just the tale of two Ariel dolls. It's it's just an ongoing comparison. We'll do this until the end of time with dolls, you know, comparing their likenesses and their differences. Here are three wedding princesses that we've looked at so far: Ariel, Tiana, and Cinderella. And just right away you can see the difference with Ariel's bouquet. It's very interesting. Also, the kind of accordion fabric here with Cinderella's dress looks very similar to this fabric on Ariel's dress. So I'm sure that there were a lot of similar, you know, things reworked and reused, you know, to create each doll. And of course, the netting used on their veils, you know, that is all the same. But you can just see the difference in that. Like, there's a white here, and then this is kind of like greenish, tannish, and then Cinderella's is definitely with a blue tone. So very, very cool. All right, everyone. Well, that is all the details of the Ariel and Prince Eric wedding set. I'm so excited to look at it. They're so beautiful, and I'm so happy to have them in my collection. And I cannot wait to look at Rapunzel and Flynn. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Of course, let me know what you think of this set. Are you going to buy them? You know, is this something you want? And if this was your first time here, make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thank you so much. See you guys later. Bye-bye.